Peace and blessings, everyone. It's me, Dr. Sabrina, and welcome back to Soul Speak Conversations for Your Healing Journey, where once again, one of you has blessed us with a question. And today I have a guest that's going to do her part. I'm going to do my part, both of us speaking to you from our hearts and our experiences to give you the best answer in this moment. And also, our prayer is that the answers that we give will also help countless other people who are listening in on our conversation. So my beautiful guest today is Nikiya Knight. Nikiya integrates Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation to support sustainable well-being in modern life. Her work focuses on nervous system regulation, rest, and helping individuals move beyond survival-driven productivity into a more grounded and sustainable way of living. Drawing from ancient wisdom traditions and her global lived experience, she offers practical pathways for restoring balance, cultivating resilience, and reconnecting with internal stability. She is passionate about helping people redefine success in a way that supports both their ambition and their well being. Thank you, Nikiya, for coming here.
Thank
It's
you,
so
Dr.
nice to
Sabrina,
see
for having me and having
you.
this platform.
Yes. And so I'm going to share the question now, okay? All
Okay.
right. I only give initials. This question came from TB,
hmm
and she wrote, Dear Dr. Sabrina, 2 years ago, I was clinically diagnosed with anxiety and depression. It started quietly. I couldn't finish simple tasks. I stopped enjoying hobbies, and the things that used to bring me peace suddenly felt meaningless. I started a meditation practice, but stopped when I was told that meditation was, quote, the devil's playground. How do I find something meaningful that doesn't violate my religious beliefs?
Wow.
You've heard that before, right?
Yes,
I
I've
know
heard.
you heard it before.
Yeah, this has come up. What comes to your heart? I mean, meditation is a practice of centering, of coming into one's just deep thought. Not only deep thought, but just deep presence.
Right.
So, with something like anxiety, feelings of anxiety and feelings of depressions, because I've been there. I go there sometimes, and it ebbs and it flows, and it's up and it's down, and coming back. Like, different meditation practices have supported those feelings. Some
Mm.
meditation isn't just one thing, hasn't been just one thing of like, okay, I'm going to sit and then it's going to come to me. Or sometimes the meditation practice is I'm washing this dish, and I'm being present with washing this dish. It's coming back to the moment for me.
Mm.
At least for me
Yes.
in my practice, it comes to the moment. There have been times where I've taught a walking meditation where we're just like one step at a time. With each step, let something go. With each, maybe when we pick up our feet, we pick up something that nourishes us. And I'm with
Mm.
this call, I'm with TV about things that used to bring joy, things that used to be nourishing are no longer having those feelings. And with that, just trying something new, bringing back
Mm.
curiosity, that curious mind. In my experience, I of being a language assistant in Spain, being around children was just
Mhm.
one of those experiences where it's like it brought me back to that childhood
Mm.
experience of just carefree, of fearlessness, especially within that culture. Like, the kids just do, and if they break a bone, you know what? They learn something from that. They learn, okay, I won't do it that way, I'll do it a different way, and that it's a lot, so that I don't break a bone. That being said, they've also got a healthcare system where they can just go to hospital be treated, and you know, they're like the financial anxiety isn't present, but
Right.
that's also a caveat. So again, just coming back to that curious place of childhood of like experimentation.
Yeah. And returning to that place, it reminds me of that Buddhist saying about having a beginner's mind.
Hmm.
And you named a lot of elements that are embedded in multiple spiritual traditions, right? Being mindful, slowing down, gratitude for your feet
Hmm.
as you take that walk. And I would be really curious about who who's pushing TB away from something that is healing, that is working for her.
Hmm.
And you also mentioned being curious. So I don't know, she doesn't mention what her religion is, but I've heard disproportionate number of Christian clients make this statement that it's somehow it's sinful, it's a devil's playground to meditate. And so when they said that to me, I've said to them, "Well, what would Jesus do?"
Exactly. Like, what was Jesus? What were you taught that Jesus did? Jesus
He
walked.
did exactly.
Jesus took some time to himself, contemplated, and came back to his disciples. As I understand the Bible, it's been a while.
Yes. Yes.
And I've heard this as well as of in yoga classes about mantras, being like, oh, I don't know what this means, so I'm not going to say this mantra until no, a teacher who's well versed in mantras and Sanskrit and the meanings would be able to explain, like, this is what this is. This is what this mantra is saying. It's not worshiping the devil, because sometimes it's perceived as, for example, Kali, the goddess Kali, being destroyer and destroying things and being this bad, this deity of destruction.
Mm,
But it's also, from my understanding, a deity of creation, because
mm,
how can we're it's the both sides of
absolutely.
making space for something to grow. It's like, as we go into different seasons, when we go from summer to fall, like from winter, made space is making space every, like, if you're in the northern even when you're in the southern hemisphere, from the snow, from the cold, it's starting to warm up for creation. The flowers bloom, the plants that are meant for the season start to bloom. Same thing for the summer. There are plants that come out in the summer so that you can reap them in autumn to store for the winter. it's
Yeah.
it's 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 just that cycle. It's that space that we're creating.
So people just need to be reminded that what they're doing is not new,
Mm-hmm.
that it's been done by the prophets, peace be upon them all, that you're reading about.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a glorious picture of, I went to Jerusalem, and I have a picture of the temple, the mountain of temptation, where it is written that Jesus sat for 40 days. And I have a picture of that rock. And I'll say to them, what do you think he was doing on this rock? He was meditating, he was contemplating, and he was challenged, and he was
Exactly.
working out some stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was being tempted to turn his back on his people, and he didn't. And so I remind people of that fact in the most gentle way. And I can see the way you approaching people's reticence,
Mm-hmm.
in a very gentle way. Like, and I heard you say, we're a part of seasons. We're a
Yeah.
part of nature. And so these practices reconnect us with our nature.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. And even those who aren't religious are scientific in the male energy of science.
Hmm.
Ayurveda is science as well, but again,
Right.
science as we know, as modern science, I get something I learned, beginner's mind. in Spain in a class. It's like how the creator of the periodic table of elements came up to classify each element. How they
Mm.
then took some time, like he canceled all his appointments so that he can come up with the name, the periodic table of elements. So again, a time of reflection,
Yes.
and I'll be saying a time of meditation, just like, you know what, I'm going to do. There's one thing to focus on something, but then there's a way to like take your focus off of it, because when we focus so much on something, then it's kind of like, you get
Yeah.
stuck. One can get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So even within yoga and the yoga principles, there's the concentration, there's meditation, but there's also a withdrawal of the senses.
What does that mean to withdraw the senses?
Kind of just I the way I interpret it is just like not pay as much, maybe focus on each sense, but not really,
Ah.
not just like, there's a tendency to take everything in, and then sometimes it's just kind of like non-attachment, just goes to
Mm.
the principle of non-attachment. Don't attach, like stop attaching to any one sense, or just stop, just being able to kind of take ourselves out of it
Hmm.
to
So
be able
what
to.
would that look like? Like for someone like TB who
Mhm.
is like, I don't know if I want to do this. How would you help someone like her like tap into a sense?
Tap into a sense, just focus on maybe what we hear,
Ah, okay.
and then it will not get attached to anything that comes up for that, any
Hmm.
make any judgments, just notice it, and then
And let it go.
let it go. Like right now
And
I
then do
can
that for
notice.
each scent.
Beg your.
And you would guide someone to do that for each scent. Notice what you smell and then let it go.
Let
Notice.
it go, notice what you see, let it go, and then
Mm.
just try and turn it all off. Like,
Mm.
not in a way that it's supportive, and versus like, I'm just not going to feel and walk around in a hard way, but just like, okay, just maybe lower the senses, or maybe reflect more so inside than than
So
anything.
that's
And
like,
even at
mm,
that, I'm still learning
right.
what that means.
Well, that's the piece, right? For people to remember that this is a lifelong journey.
Hmm.
So if you find one meditative practice that works for your anxiety, you might need another one. In addition to that, that might work for your depression.
Hmm.
And then you might need something else to work for whatever else ails you.
Exactly. And again, as I said before, there's a season for everything, because in one
Mm.
season, there are practices marrying the Ayurveda with yoga, in that in Ayurveda, it's cold. It's, for example, in the northern hemisphere, it's cold.
Hmm.
So what would be more supportive would be warm. So maybe practices that generate more warmth. But
Oh, okay.
with everybody is different, and
Mm.
everybody is different. So if you already have that warmth, maybe that individual would cool down a bit. That way, again, to bring them back to that center, and a practice that's more cooling versus more heating.
Mm.
And that's meditation, breath work, while still also honoring the practice that it's an ancient practice, and it's not just the like like modern medicine where you just take it and then it's like, okay, but it's again a lifelong practice, so that it's integrated into your life, into the life, so that.
Yeah, I think that's really important to remind people
Mhm.
because I know when I'm working with someone and it's their first time like really accessing their breath, they're like, "Oh, this just doesn't work." Or what's crazy, sometimes they'll come and see me And I start every psychotherapy session with the breath. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a non-negotiable. And sometimes they're like, Sabrina, I can't remember the last time I breathe. I don't breathe. And I'm like, you have to invite your body to a conscious breath. And that is the portal to your healing. And they're like, oh, okay, you're right. And sometimes I literally have to say, okay, we're going to stop. Every single session starts with the breath. Every
Mm-hmm.
single session.
Yeah.
And then they start to do it at home. But for some people, they've never done it before. And I'm imagining that TB doesn't have a guide.
Mm-hmm.
And that is contributing to her, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm listening to, Mr. Sister so and so
So,
who told me it doesn't work. And maybe it didn't work because that one person you spoke to didn't do it long enough or didn't have a teacher themselves or thought this is I see this a lot.
mhm.
People think that when they're meditating, they're not supposed to have thoughts anymore
Exactly. And it's like thoughts will come, thoughts will leave. It's about just being present. Or,
and letting
and
them.
yeah, about staying still. Sometimes meditation is about staying still. It's about stillness because
Mm,
as the modern age is move, 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 acquire, acquire, acquire. Just in Ayurveda that
mm.
would be pitta energy, just very, we have to do this, we have to do that. And it's sometimes it's just stillness, just be still. And as I said before, what worked for that person may not work for TB because
Right.
TB might have a different constitution. Everybody
Mm,
has a different makeup, even from modern science, DNA, different makeup. So Ayurveda has its own system of this is your genetic makeup when you were conceived,
mm.
and this is how you are out of balance now in this moment, and it's about getting you back to balance, back to that baseline.
So you've mentioned Ayurveda a few times,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just curious how and I heard you mention you I forget the word that you used, but there's three archetypes, right, in
Yes.
Ayurveda? Can you tell us a little more about what they are and what they mean? Because I
Mhm.
think a lot of people don't really know what it means.
All right. So Ayurveda has three energies. They're the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. They're associated with different elements. So Vata is air and space,
Mm,
Pitta, water and fire, and Kapha, water and earth.
mm,
So they're energies. Essentially, it's just energies within the bottom, and it's just energy within uh, the universe, really.
but all of
And
us have one of the three.
all of us have all three.
We
We
have
have
all
all
three.
three.
Okay.
It's just how which ones are dominant, which one is dominant, secondary or tertiary. There's a group that all three are their baseline is all three equal.
Oh, okay.
So that's tridoshic. There are some who have more vata than pitta and kapha, but we all have all three. I'll use myself as an example.
Be
My
great.
doshic constitution that I found is more or less equal of vata and pitta, and less and the less lesser of kapha energy. So more vata energy, more of the air and space, then slightly more of the air and space than the fire and water, and the least would be the kapha, which is the water and earth.
And what would that look? What is that? How does that manifest in you? Right,
So
using yourself as an example.
yeah, so if my vata is really off balance, I'm flying everywhere. Mind is going everywhere. Concentration, less focus. That can look like less focus. It can look like insomnia as far as like stress in the
Mm-hmm.
body. The digestion might be a bit off. I mean, off in certain ways. there are certain ways that how the body, how it manifests in the body, to get that to balance. So then again, being cold, being a bit, you know, hot, hard, like
Mm,
just cold and dry. So for me to regain balance, I would need warmth and
mm,
moisture. That way, everything is set together. So that warmth may come from a warm conversation. It may come from food. It may come from the environment. Just the body. I mean, definitely. When it goes to the food, it's, warm all around, nothing raw, because again that would put me out of whack. That'd be like, oh, okay, not super focused, and the way it may come across is irresponsible, and just flitting, not focus, or the way it may come across is too stuck in my way, which would be the pitta, which is like, which is again, you have that fire element. So the
mm-hmm,
fire comes out, it's like irritable, you know, very just rigid rather than being
mm-hmm.
flexible. So again, for me, it's about finding the flexibility in a system, in structure.
So it's also about really knowing yourself.
Yeah.
So if someone like TB wanted to find out what her dosha was, like her primary dosha, what would she do? She would go to someone like you?
Go to someone like me, and then there are questions. So there's a questionnaire, and the
Got it.
dosha also have to also deal with physical characteristics as well, psychological characters. So, like you said, it's about getting to know yourself, and so taking that quiz, that questionnaire, and which is where one would find what their dosha is, and some questionnaires talk about focus on, again, where how you were conceived. So it's like, when you
Okay.
were small, were you this, were you that, and then now think about where you are now. So, and then that questionnaire would take into account where there's an imbalance of energy.
So you do this questionnaire and it takes
Hmm.
into account your genetics, your conception,
Hmm.
your way of life, and then you as the guide, you would
Hmm.
help this person come up with a unique plan to bring themselves or to stay into balance based on their
Yeah,
dosha.
yeah, based
And
on their dosage.
it's not just meditation, it's also food. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's your environment, it's your lifestyle, it's your
Ah,
lifestyle.
okay.
And let me clarify, like, genetics meaning your physical characteristics.
Got
So
it.
you
Okay.
have a small, like, yeah, your physical characteristics.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, we come up with a plan, or there would be an education of like, these are the options you may have to bring yourself back to balance. I've had someone come to me, and we were like, okay, so you've been meditating and this meditation hasn't worked, or you've been doing this and you feel this way, and you've been feeling what you want to do. Now there might be another element to bring in to the mix, because again, like, we're starting from where you are, and if where you are, you maybe want to build on that to be able to, like, just the way that we were raised is like,
Mhm.
do this, is now we're okay coming back to ourselves, and how we, okay, become more like, I feel this, what can I
Mm.
do, what is it that I need, and okay, I need this, and how now, then how follows from from yourself. It's not me telling you what to do. And that's, to make that clear, it's like, it's you coming to what you need, because I can't
Yeah.
tell you about you. I
Right.
can't tell Dr. Sabrina, I can't tell TB, okay, you do this. I was like, it works best when it comes from you.
Yeah. So here's the information, TB, based on what you shared, and here's some options for you.
Mm-hmm.
and that person, a TB, would sit and make a decision with your support, with your guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not you, no, 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 yes, 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 yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's let's listen. Let's listen to TB's heart, is what I'm hearing it saying.
Yeah. Let's listen to your heart and what is it saying. And
Hmm.
sometimes, because if we listen to our, if we listen to our brain is going to tell us like it's winter. For let me go back to it's winter. My brain is telling me I want some crisps. I want some chips.
Mm.
But what are chips? Chips are drying
Right. And hard.
in heart. So I was like, I don't need. I'm already dry. I need something a little bit more hearty. I need something a little bit more, moist. So maybe I can have the crisp, but making sure that I have it with something that's warm, and so it's to take away from the dryness. But again, in moderation, maybe a few times, not the whole entire winter. Maybe okay, 1 week or a day. Again, forgiveness, giving yourself grace, going to your heart, and then going to what is actually nourishing, and you, the individual, taking the time,
Mm.
and making the time. And that's where the rest part comes in, is because again, we we've had generations after generations after generations just saying, I mean, I know the culture that I come from says you're wrestling your dead.
Mm. Yes,
And
I
it
know that culture
never
very well.
and I was like, like, until I started on this journey, it never occurred to me. I was like, what is that really telling us? That we have to earn rest? That
Mm-hmm.
the only time that we're going to actually get rest is when we're, either buried or I was like, I want to, no, I'm going to rest. And if me resting is offensive to somebody, then I mean, and it's a whole snowball effect like clearing space. It's like, this is the life, I'm living the life that I want. And the life that I want is one of a healthy life, of a life that we had before, and not to, and I'm appreciative of modern conveniences, modern technologies, because I used to work in tech. I used to work in tech, so I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate it, but also appreciating that we need to like we're human beings, not human doings. We're not machines. We're not robots. I mean,
Mm.
we need rest.
Yeah. And some of that anxiety that people are being diagnosed with is rooted in that
Hmm.
lack of rest and being so far ahead that there's no moment of just a deep pause.
Hmm.
And you can only listen to what these three parts of us are saying
Hmm.
when you're resting.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we're being directed into being like computers, I'm sorry, computers have sleep mode.
Ooh,
Computers have sleep mode.
computers
Computers
have
can
they
go.
do.
They
They
can
have
they
sleep
can turn
mode.
on. They're
Absolutely.
they're more. You can optimize your computer by turning it off every night.
Absolutely. And it's
Because
the
guess what
same
happens?
concept.
It clears the space. Turn it back on. You have more space to work with,
Absolutely.
and more space to do things that are nourishing and be around nourishing individuals, those who will guide you, be like, hey, or be honest, or be transparent, say, this is not my area of expertise, or not even
Mhm.
my expertise. Like, this didn't work for me. Something else may work for you, but I'm here for you.
Yeah. You know, when you said that, you reminded me that probably like over a decade ago, I had a friend. I still have a friend. She's an Orthodox Jewish woman, and she was telling me about her Shabbos.
Hmm.
And I said, I don't want to do everything that y'all do,
Mm-hmm.
but I started turning off my computer at sunset every Friday. And for a long time, I turned my phone off too until my children were all over the place. I didn't know where they were all the time, and I liked having it available to them. But
Mm-hmm.
at sunset, I turned off the devices. I didn't turn them back on until Saturday. Now, my Jewish friend didn't turn them back on until Saturday night. So I navigated my own practice.
Mm-hmm.
And so during that time, I do my prayers, I do my meditation, I do something crazy like read a book.
Yeah,
What?
absolutely.
Read a
It's
book.
like,
I eat with my fingers.
mm-hmm.
And all of that is a part of a meditative practice. So I think the thing that you and I are doing for TB is we're expanding for her
Mm-hmm.
what it means to treat what you perceive to be a disease of depression and anxiety
Mm-hmm.
with what you have in your body without the attachment of the shame,
Mm-hmm.
because that other person, whatever, for whatever reason, attempted to shame them around something that is in their nature.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's become very common. I mean,
Mm.
I can only speak about being a woman of African descent,
Mm-hmm.
as well as a woman of parents who migrated to another country,
Mm.
and so the amount of shame brought from that. Either, I mean, yeah, to the point of, it's like, here you can be one person here, but when you're here, this is the kind, like,
Mm.
this is how you have to be.
Isn't that like the essence of code switching?
Yeah,
Yeah,
essentially, it's like, and
that's very stressful.
it is, and then and actually, it wasn't until recently that I stumbled upon an Instagram account that hit it on the head, and they were talking about, so this phenomenon is being a third culture kid, and it's one of those things where it's like, you're one culture at outside of your home, you're another culture
Mhm.
inside of your home, and then you're also, maybe you're, so that creates a whole nother culture, because you're not one, you're both. And then at that, creating on top of that, traveling. So you're meeting people, you're meeting other individuals from other humans from different walks of life, from different cultures, and absorbing that. As you said, when you have a Jewish friend who, they shut off their devices because it's part of their religious practice. And you're like, you know what? Let me try this. Goes
Yeah.
back to experimentation, and it worked.
Right.
Me
Right.
going to Spain, that was a lot of, like, I had no desire to be on a device, like, to be on my devices when I was over there, because I had somewhere I can walk outside. I could go to the beach. Well, when I was in the Canaries, I was able to walk along the beach. I was able to go to the beach, meet other people, socialize in that kind of way, where I'm not on my phone chatting, and because my family and friends were 5 hours behind me. So it's
Mhm.
like, whoever I knew, I mean, I would then have to stay up late to chat with them. And even at that process in itself allowed me to, you know what? There are few people at that time of night that I will chat with, because I understand that my brain needs the rest. And if I'm in a if I've got to code switch, it's like, my brain is not for it.
Yeah,
My
no,
brain
it's
is not for it at
right.
that time.
Mhm.
And it's going to come out how it's going to come out. And for some people, how it comes out is offensive.
Mm.
And I'm just like, I would rather just, or at least at that time, now I'm at a point where it's like, it's going to come out how it's going to come out. And if me resting and me uh, having an easeful life is offensive, that's exploration for you. Like,
Exactly.
it's me taking the responsibility for myself, rather than, again, what I've been brought up in. to take responsibility for everybody else and then
Mm.
myself last. And this actually reminds me of a podcast that you had about death and like
Mm.
thinking about death, because these came out of death. These came out of the death of my grandmother, my paternal
Mhm.
grandmother,
Mhm.
cousin's sister.
Mm.
I mean, just countless
Yes.
individuals who I'm like, did they take time? Well, one death. It was at a time. It was 10 years ago, actually, in January. It was a classmate,
Mm.
and he died of something that was completely treatable, and it was
Mm.
just a fluke that it hadn't been treated, I guess, in time or whatever the circumstances were. But that had me actually sit down and think. I was like, am I living or am I existing?
It's a very good question. Am I living or am I existing?
And then after that, that's kind of what to that kind of that started different the changes, because it's like,
Mhm.
okay, I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica. Went to Costa Rica that year,
Mm.
and then again the death happened. It's like, man, what's going on? Like my favorite people, like the people who I know, who I can just go. I had gone. I can be my silly self around,
Mm.
passed away. So again, it's one of those things. So then it's navigating these transitions and just going backwards and forwards and kind of just not knowing until I got guidance to be like, you know what, try this, do this. And what it took was rest. It took me going to a yoga class. And before that, I had gone to hospital
Mm. Mhm.
because maybe I'm unsure of what others things are manifesting in TB, but like I
Right.
had gotten vertigo to the point where I had to go to I had to go to A&E. I had to go to the emergency room,
Mm.
and it was kind of like I sat and I was like, you know what, this job, the job that I was in at the time, I was like, they gonna feel like I was like, they not gonna miss me. Like even
No.
my workmates, very like the people who noticed that I was actually still ill were the people protecting us, the security guards, but
Mm.
the individuals that I worked with, the time barely, just barely, like maybe one or two. I always say one or two, a few,
Mhm.
but there's a few, but there are some who are just like it didn't matter. So I was like, I'm doing this to my body. I'm giving to everything, but what I'm and all I'm getting in return is dis-ease, misalignment. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's about again being able to find the path where we're more aligned, so that we're not diseased, we're more easeful. It's not
Yeah.
it's not easy.
No, it's not. And I love that that is where you landed for
Mm,
yourself, but also that's really important. You said it a few sentences back. For people like TB and all of us to strive for an easeful life. So it's not always perfect. It's not always peace, but there's a is a striving to return to that balance over and over and over again. And I heard you give her some very important feedback about how to move forward. And it tell me if I got it, is to have a teacher or a guide to relinquish whatever shame she might be carrying around it, to rest,
to rest.
to find a practice that's useful and unique to her,
Hmm.
to find out what her unique makeup is
Hmm.
so that her movement and her food and her associations help keep that in balance.
Hmm.
Did I get it?
Yeah, yeah, as
What I
well. I
miss?
mean, no, that's it. And how to work with the, because with Ayurveda it's everything. The doshas are part of it. It's a, like, we can talk about the doshas all day, because
I know, honey.
like there's doshas about time, there's a doshas about,
Mm.
timing, seasons. It's just, it's so, again, it's all, it's about it, it's part of it, but again, it's about how we're I hate to use the word utilizing, but how,
No, that's a fine word.
yeah.
But what I'm
Mhm.
hearing, and it's
Mhm.
very much in Sufism as well, when we say, when you know yourself,
Mhm.
then you know what you worship.
Yeah.
Because some of us, like you mentioned, are worshiping the money, the things, the opinions of others, and all of those things pull us away from spirit.
Yeah.
So the bottom line for TB is to know yourself.
Know yourself. and that's
Yeah.
and that's all I hope to be
Hmm.
able to facilitate with others, is facilitating you returning to yourself and returning to what's important for you, and what's important for you in this season of your life. Because what was
Yes. It's
important for
very
me,
different.
it's very different. Where I am now, what what's important for me now is family, but family in a way that's healthy and supportive.
Hmm.
Or which means I'm putting myself first. I'm making sure that I'm okay, so that I have the abundance to be able to be around for you, because I want to live. I want to
Absolutely.
live. However, the Most High, the Supreme Being, whomever, the universe, whatever you may call it or believe in, again, has again, surrender to them. Just
Hmm.
surrender to them, and being able is like, if the messages that I receive is like, you're here for a purpose, and the purpose is something that I will tell you, versus the people around you, maybe, or TV might be asking, so what's your plan, what do you want to do, did it, like, and that's
Mhm.
where the layers of shame and guilt and judgment just come through. It's like, you know what, uh whoever they believe in has this plan for me. And
Yes.
if they want you to know my plan, if you're involved in the plan, then they will let you will know, if we also believe in the same, if you believe in that truly and deeply in your heart.
Absolutely.
And I again, with the understanding that, again, we live in the modern world, and the modern world at this time requires, or has money as
We
as
gotta eat,
yeah, we gotta eat. We gotta
but
eat.
we don't have to worship it.
Yeah, but we don't have to worship. It's a means to exchange energy. It's a
Yeah.
means. I mean, it's that's what it is. And rather than worshiping and, you know surrendering to it, because as easily as it can go, it can come.
Hmm.
There have been ups and there have been downs, even historically within the world. There's been ups when everyone monetarily or financially are doing well, and there are times when up. Only
Right.
some are and some
Right.
aren't. So we can. I mean, I feel a bit of anxiety at times about it,
Yes.
and then, again, that's the time where you take a moment and be like, you know what, check in. Am I
Yeah.
hungry? Am I tired? If I'm one of those are the first things I check. Like, do I need to eat or do I need to sleep? If it's both, okay. It's like, let me sleep first. It depends on, like, which one is the most immediate and
Which
what
is
I
the
have
prevalent. Right.
available. Yeah. So haven't really got. I maybe have some things in the fridge or in the kitchen, but I haven't got the energy to make it. Guess what? I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna take the rest, take the time, sleep, recharge, and then, okay, then I can then feed myself, nourish myself with a fuller cup.
Yeah. And that is the work for all of us and TB.
Hmm.
Nourish yourself with a fuller cup. Now it's time for us to pause. I am
Okay.
so grateful that you have given everyone this information. And I'm wondering, would you be open to closing us out with whatever form of meditation that you think that you feel is right in this moment for us?
Yes, I would feel comfortable. We could
Because I
close
see you
out.
sitting so nice, so sweetly.
We can start getting into a comfortable seat or lie down if whatever falls, whatever is most comfortable to you in this moment.
Okay.
And just notice the clothing you have on your skin, breath as it enters and leaves your body, the sounds around you. Just allow yourself to soften a little bit more into the surface. Perhaps you notice the smell as it enters and exits, feelings in your heart. And at this time, you can make some last movements and gently close your eyes or lower your gaze if you're able to do so, or willing, or if it calls to you. I invite you to make all of these movements and continue to soften as you hear the sound of my voice. Maybe you hear the sounds in the room. Sounds of outside. Release any judgments. Just acknowledge it. Slow breaths in through the nose, down the neck, the spine, into the feet. As you inhale up from the feet. Oh, exhale from the feet, up the front body, and out the nose. Continue in through the nose, up to the crown, down the back of the body, down the neck, the spine, the back of the legs, the heels. Exhale from the front of the body, and now we're going to reverse as we inhale from the toes all the way up to the crown, and exhale down from the crown to the toes. Bring awareness to the breath slowly. And allow yourself to leave the room, the space that you're in. Drawing your knees into your chest if you're able to. And just giving yourself a hug. Taking a few moments here. Eyes still closed. Maybe the hands to the heart. Thanking yourself for making the time, the space for you. Gently drawing the hands together, rubbing them, creating a little heat. Gently placing them wherever it is on your body, perhaps on your face. As you gently lift your lids open, hands together and me thanking you for sharing your vibes with me and uh, allowing me to share my vibes with you.
Mm.
And I like to end my classes with the Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace,
Mm.
Peace.
Peace, peace.
One love. One love.
One, one love. Thank you so much, Nikiya. Thank you for that meditation. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your care. And on behalf of all the TBs that sat with us today, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean,
You're welcome.
peace and blessings, everyone.